So they want us to do a little more with these polynomial functions, and they want us to add or subtract them. So the rule says if you want to know what the combination, the addition of two functions is in terms of x, then what you do is you find f of x and you add it to g of x. Okay, so that probably makes some sense. You know, you want to add two functions, so you're going to take them separately and add them together. It's really more complicated than that, but I won't go into that. All right, subtracting is very similar. So if you want to know the difference, the overall difference between two functions and evaluate it at something, then you take the function, the first function evaluated at x, and subtract the second function. It looks like a distributing thing. It is not a distributing thing. It is a function thing. And so these are rules for how you add and subtract functions. Okay? So I emphasize that because it probably looks like distributing, but you got to think in terms of functions. Okay. So now we're going to add f of x plus g of x. So we're going to take f of x and we're going to add g of x. But they tell us what f of x is. It's 2x squared plus, oops, no, not plus, minus 4x plus 3. And we're going to add then g of x, and they give us g of x. X squared minus 2x minus 6. Okay, so they want us to add these two functions together. So I'm going to write them without the parentheses, like we did when we were adding polynomials. And so I'm going to have 2x squared and x squared, that's going to be 3x squared. And then I have a negative 4x and a negative 2x, that's going to be negative 6x. And then I have a 3 and a minus 6, that's going to be minus 3. So there it is when I add the functions. That is f plus g of x. So that's the answer to part A. Part B says, now we want you to evaluate what you got in part A. We want you to evaluate it at 3. So I'm going to recopy this. F plus g of x is equal to 3x squared minus 6x minus 3. Now we're going to do f plus g of 3. So we're going to put a 3 in. Too many 3's. Well, hopefully you know where all those 3's are coming from. Okay, and then we do the order of operations. 3 times 9 minus, that's going to be 18 minus 3. Usually I do all my multiplying on one step, but I didn't that time. Okay, 27 minus 18, what's that, 9? 9 minus 3 is 6. So part B, the answer is going to be a numeric value because we're evaluating the function, actually the addition of the functions, and we get 6. All right, now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do subtraction. So now I have to know what my functions were. 2x squared minus 3x. So let me write this. It's going to be f of x minus g of x. And it was 2x squared minus 4x plus 3. That was f of x. And now we're going to subtract g of x. X squared minus 2x minus 6. Okay, so now we're going to simplify that, just like we did with the addition. But it's subtraction. We always have to be careful when it's subtraction. So it's going to be minus x squared plus 2x, because minus a minus, right? And then plus 6 is minus a minus. Okay, now let me make sure I copied that down right. Okay, it looks right. So now we can combine like terms. So I have 2x squared minus x squared. That's going to be just 1x squared. I have a negative 4x and a positive 2x, so that's going to be negative 2x. And then I'm going to have a 3 and a 6, that's going to give me 9. So that's the answer for part A. So f of x minus g of x is that polynomial, that trinomial. So I'm going to go over here and write f minus g of x equals x squared minus 2x plus 9. Now I'm going to evaluate that new function I have. Oops. At negative 2. I forgot to put Forgot to put in the negative 2. Negative 2. So that's going to look like negative 2 squared. Make sure you put parentheses around that negative 2. So again, I'm replacing both of the x's in the function with negative 2. So I get 4. Negative 2 squared is 4. And then it's going to be negative 2 times negative 2, which is plus 4, plus 9. So 8 plus 9, I'm going to get 17 here. Okay, so that's how we add and subtract polynomial functions.